Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So I do feel better than yesterday. God, yesterday my allergies were just giving me a whole load of trouble. But I'm better today. So, a few interesting things. A couple of nights ago, heard this huge boom. Woke me up about 3:40 a.m. And I mean, boom, like I'm thinking, oh crap, what just let loose? And let me give you a hint. I was thinking that it was this tire right here. Turns out a few miles from me, I mean, not close at all. Somebody had a food truck that I guess they had a propane leak in, and something torched it, something fired it off. I mean, it ripped that truck apart, or trailer apart. It looked like one of them roadside bombs went off in it, like in the Middle East. I mean, there was. But anyway, so that woke me up. But I really thought when it went off that I was going to come out here, in particular I was going to find this tire here shredded. But no problem. They stayed up. Anyway, what am I here to talk to you about? Not explosions in the night. Let's talk about this guy. As all-terrain vehicles you buy that are not running, you end up with a mixed bag situation. And part of the positive on the mixed bag, it's got a Clark gas tank. I don't know if you guys could read that there. Clark, right here. A Clark plastic gas tank. Looks to be in pretty good shape. This white that's on here, the oxidation, there's a couple of different ways of dealing with it. Some guys just hit it with a heat gun and they get rid of the oxidation. Then they buff it out. In my case, probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this with a little wet dry sandpaper, probably 3,000 grit, 5,000 grit, 3,000 grit. Just kind of clean it up, then get a nice wax coat on it. But plastic gas tank, a Clark plastic gas tank in that condition, easily $75. So very happy about that. That's a nice addition. So that goes under the land of positive. Under the land of negative, I told you guys the recoil was for crap, so I replaced the recoil, right? The recoil was empty on this one. I think I told you guys that. Maybe I didn't. And I put oil into it. I noticed a couple of these bolts were out, but until I got it up on the trailer, I didn't notice that all the bolts were out, right? And the bolt that holds the cage, the open cage for the recoil here, that was also loose. So for some reason somebody started to take this apart, and I'm not sure what that reason is. I did a compression test on it, and you guys saw that it came in, I don't know, 105, a little over 100, and it was dry because there was no oil in it. Well, I put oil in it, and we can see what became of the oil. It just ran out because the case isn't bolted together. So God only knows what's going on in here. I was happy because, well, the tire's in the way here, but there is an air filter in here, which is a good thing. The frame isn't bent. The back tires hold air for a long period of time. The front tire looks like it'll hold air for an hour, which should I get the engine fired up, that gives me enough time to get on there and go for a quick rip snort. All wonderful things. So if it does turn into just parts, I got a complete motor, an exhaust system, and back tires, and a Clark gas tank. So I'm doing really very good for the, and partial fenders, and looks like the chain's pretty good, the rear end's tight, the front forks are good. I mean, it really I'm okay, right? I'm not in bad shape with the 125. in a way, I'm almost tempted to just slam. Remember, I bought that that ATV engine from China, and they bolt right on here. In a way, I'm almost tempted to bolt that up just to try the engine out. And I think given the smaller tires, and I'm going to go with the right front tire, which is bigger, 22 11/8. I think these things are 18 11/8, something like that. I'm going to go with the bigger front tire. I think it'll be this is going to be a really cool little bike to have in the fleet. So I look forward to it. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing is I dragged this out of the barn. And it has front and back suspension. They both work. You could see the condition of the box here. It's got the things for the gas tank, right? Which is nice. And there's the plate. You could see it. It does have the switch on it. I don't know if this is the right switch. It's not very pretty, but it's there. The front suspension is good. You could see I bounced it. You could see how it moved. I'm just going to put this right on the truck. This is the plate that's on it. I don't know if that's the right plate or not. I got one of my YouTubers, one of my buddies, who's this glass. It's probably not OEM, but who's putting together a bike from his youth. So I really think that's pretty cool. And from the looks of what he's doing, it looks like he's going to do it. I'd say he's my age, and he's kind of serious about it. So I look forward to seeing what he builds. I also found this, and this appears to belong. I mean, it's just a crappy wheel. I mean, it still turns, and it's got the, it's got everything there. It's pretty rusty, but it appears to be the right one that goes with this. I also looked for the front. I didn't see it. Well, actually, that looks like the wrong spacer for this side. I don't know. It looked close enough. I'm going to throw that on too, because I'm basically coming out with only a couple of these things on there, so it's going to be a relatively light load. I might as well throw a few things on. I don't know. If you have it and you take one part off of it, like if you use just one of these, you're ahead, right? Or any of the suspension stuff, or I don't know. Once again, a lot of this stuff isn't in great shape, but if you got nothing, it's better than that. I don't know if you want to pull the nuts off, or it does have the inner fender. It's got part of the front fender. And you say, oh, that's not good for anything. It depends. If you have the front of the fender and not the back, you could do a plastic weld across and, maybe reinforce it, and you got something, right? That's, if you don't have the parts, you don't have the parts. If you have the parts and they're in crappy condition and you have multiples of the same part, sometimes you could put something together. So this is the 1979. Yeah, that's looks like they attached it with zip ties. I don't know if that's OEM. The one in here, just to refresh you, I thought this one had a switch over here, and it doesn't. These aren't OEM. Handlebars aren't in horrible shape. Yeah, this engine actually looks pretty good. After I got it, I kept it inside. There's no front fender. The back fender is there. A few of you guys really like the flowers on the gas tank. I guess they're all right. This bike's been painted. It started off orange, and then I don't know. And then it looks like it went black. Then it went blue. Then it went green. This gas tank, it went everything there. All right, so you're gonna get this thing as it sits, and you're gonna get that guy as it sits. And for me, I guess I'm gonna ask thoughts. I'm wondering if I should just put the bolts into the case, find another Hoard engine and pull the bolts out of it, something that's not on anything, and just put all the bolts in, particularly the bottom bolts. And if I should try to fire it up, you know, put my portable CDI on it and my portable gas tank. I mean, here's the wires coming out of the CDI, right? So they just, I just have to, they come right in here, right? So I just unplug this, hook my portable CDI to it, hook a wire to the ground, hook the spark plug wire, and I got ignition. And then once I have ignition, it's just a matter of fueling up the carb. I'd probably pull the carb off and do a quick rebuild on it. Now that it's up higher, it's easy, right? This gas tank comes right off. Yeah, do a quick rebuild on the carb. It's a Kevin carb, it's an OEM carb. So now I got gas, I got spark, it has compression, so it would fire up. Roger said, just put a set of vice grips on the shifter and ride it. They probably couldn't get it apart because see these welds here? They probably couldn't get it to slide apart. So they probably just took the bolts out. They probably just took the bolts out to troubleshoot it, and then they couldn't finish taking it apart because the shifter was welded up. So I guess that answers my question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bolts in, put the oil back into it, and fire it up and see what happens. I'm beginning to be concerned that this thing has transmission problems. That's why they took it apart. They took the wrong side of the case apart for transmission now. Normally you start on the clutch side to sniff out a transmission problem. It doesn't look like they did anything on this side. I don't know. I mean, it's nice. It's got the CDI is here, the solenoid and stuff under the box are all there. Once again, it has the air filter. The forks aren't bent. The front fenders here. The fenders really weren't in too bad a shape. They weren't shredded. They were, you know, worn. A little worn. Actually, they weren't even horribly worn. They were more sun beat than anything else. Okay, I guess that's what I have for today. I want to thank all you guys for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days. Take care now, folks. Bye.